right, good morning everybody. Mike here, Northeastern Dirt and Property Maintenance. I can't believe the storm that just came through here this weekend and how much rain we got. And it pounded so hard. We had so much rain, and I'm telling you, over the 2 days it wasn't measured in millimeters. I'd say it was measured in inches. Well, you know what? It just beat the hell out of this driveway. It beat this driveway right now for washing. And that's just what you get. I got no water bars in this driveway, and I just let it go, and you end up with a ton of washing like this, and that's where I am this morning. If you look up the hill, you can see all the water come down this side. And if you look to the left, the water come down the left here and just washes the edge. So I got the landscape rake out. And so I haven't had to touch this driveway much this year, like I said. Once earlier this year and this time now, but I can't believe it. And the rain was not measured in millimeters. It was measured in inches. And it just flowed down this driveway. And we're going to fix her up with the rake. So let's get at it. Alright, so we're on the very bottom end of this driveway. Right there's the road. And there's where it runs right down in the ditch and goes. So when it washes really hard like the rain we had, I'm talking exceptionally hard rain, it pulls that sand and them fines down this driveway. I mean, the water's coming down. It's going to take and cause erosion. It's going to bring the fines and everything. Comes down here right over top of the Canadian Shield on this granite, pulls it in the ditch. So earlier I took a couple scoops and reclaimed the gravel that went in the ditch, and you guys can see I laid it right in here. I reclaimed a little bit, and you can see how rough and washed it is up here on that right hand side. We're going to start there. We're just going to hit this with that rake. I just want you guys to see how handy that rake is if you've got a bad driveway. Even though this driveway isn't up to par, it's not engineered quite right with the crown and the runoff. That's not what we're going to talk about today. We'll just show you the difference between a rough driveway and what the finished product's going to look like. In case you got a tractor and you're looking for a cheap method, as I've shown in other videos with this rake, but I thought today would be an opportune time. Let's get at it. So you can see the job that rake does. I just covered that spot there. It was a little rough coming down, but I try not to pull my driveway material downhill. I like to start at the bottom, drag the material that's been washed, just set the rake down fairly deep down there, and pull all the sand and aggregate back up the hill, because naturally everything flows from the top down on a rainstorm, and you get a lot of sand and aggregate sitting at the end of the driveway. So I like to run down, turn around, and pull all the material continuously back uphill. And it's really a fine line between the depth that you set your rake at here and pulling up that base underneath this driveway of heavier rock. I don't like to get too deep into the base underneath this, but there's not much you can do. You just work the driveway the best you can and do the best job you can. you guys, we got her all cut down with that landscape rake. Now, even with the gauge wheels on this landscape rake, I still have to feather that depth of cut for those tines on that 3-point. Even with the gauge wheels, I can't, just because of the terrain here and the depth of the holes and everything else. I have to be careful, and I still have to feather that 3-point, looking backwards, just being careful of how much I'm cutting off depending on where I am with the driveway. So the gauge wheels in the back of that are not the answer to the whole issue at all. You can't just set it and go, just the way the terrain is here. So I just have to be careful, and I do have to do some feathering with those gauge wheels, but overall it turned out, if you have a look, pretty good down there. And you can see here where that fresh gravel was, where it was all rutted up. Pretty good. And you can see, though, it does kick up some 2 to 3 inch rocks from the base, but there's nothing I can do about that. So all in all, if you look down that driveway, it turned out pretty good. And you know what? For a poor man's driveway repair, I call that, for those that landscape rake, it does an excellent job. You don't have to break the bank to redo your driveway. And sometimes I'll just windrow from one side to the other and back and forth. Each time I do the driveway, I'll swap and I'll windrow from this side to that side. It just depends on the situation. You can offset them. They work fabulous. But all in all, I wanted you guys to see the before and after, because we had serious rain. So thanks for tuning in. And we got another nice smooth driveway. Thanks.